Britney Spears' cousin speaks out. We got to talk about this and more, but before we get into it, hi best friend, and welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, my whole vibe is giving pop culture messy bestie, comfort content creator, and it feels like we're on a FaceTime call. So if that is something that you are in the market for, hit that subscribe button, best friend. Listen, girl, come over here. We gotta talk. Okay. First of all, happy Valentine's Day. If you are with a partner, that is amazing. And if you're not with a partner, that's also amazing too. Because guess what, girl? You're with yourself. And the most important relationship we could have is with ourselves, okay? But listen, I don't want you to feel sad about this, okay? Because, girl, if you are searching and yearning for a couple, today's a perfect day to write down all the things that you want from your future couple. I want you to write down what you want from your future partner. Write those qualities down. Write those things that you want them to be and how they are and the great little details. And I know that partner will arrive to you. But before that, we got to work on ourselves, okay, boo? So we got to work on loving ourselves so we can love all those around us. Okay, so listen. Alli, what's her name? Alli Spears, whatever her name is. Her cousin, you know, the one that she lived with so long. Best friend, I don't know. I was a lot younger, so I don't remember all of this, but she did a 10-minute interview back in the day talking about all of this, where she even talks about Britney's father allegedly threatening her and taking her to court and suing her and all these things, and then her not being able to see or talk to Britney at that time she did the interview. It's been a year since she talked to Britney. So I missed this whole interview, and I want to know if you guys watched this interview. She tried to make music. She talks about how the paparazzi and the media, they were twisting everything when that was not really the reality of what was going on with Britney back in the 2007. And she talks about all of these things, even the time that Britney barricaded herself in the bathroom. So I thought, let's go down memory lane, because I've never watched this before, and I don't know if you guys watched this before, but in case you haven't, here it is, girl.
Star. You know, I started singing when I was really little, and so I've just been working really hard and just really trying to, in a way, separate myself from all that too, because obviously I'm used to having my own identity, and that was kind of lost in that year and a half that I was with her. Yeah, and I mean that was kind of hard for me because I was never used to that, and so I've just been working really hard, you know, working on my music and stuff like that to put something out that's wonderful so the music can speak for itself. And it's going to take a little while. I know that, and I'm in it for the long run, so right. I'm ready for any challenge.
Now, this is a question that's been up in the air in the paparazzi, or in the, not even paparazzi, I'm sorry, this question's been up in the air in the press, so I'll just ask you point blank.
Okay.
Were you fired as her assistant?
No.
Or did Britney say, go make music?
She was like, go, I still lived with her after I wasn't working with her. And we were still best friends. She was just like, you need to go work on your own stuff. I'm going to be your assistant for the day. I'm going to come bring you Starbucks. You know, I mean, she's a sweetheart. She's honestly one of the sweetest girls ever. She has a great heart. She's very giving, and she wants everybody to succeed. She's not, I mean, she's, you know, right. Britney Spears career-wise, I mean, come on. She's not worried about, right. you know, me doing something that I love. She wants that.
What about the reports that her dad said, you can't come around anymore or you're going to have to deal with Britney's lawyers?
Yeah, he definitely said that. And I don't have a problem with people knowing that. I don't want people to think that she and I got in a fight and that's why I'm not hanging out with her. You know, they're very controlling, and that's fine. And I just step back, and when things, you know, even out a little more and she's able to give me a call, look forward to the day that I can sit down and catch up with her.
But it actually, between those two statements, then it sounds like it's a real separation between your relationship with what Britney said and what Britney's dad in the camp says.
I think that, I think that she definitely wasn't up for the fact that she was losing certain control on a lot of different aspects of her life because of her age and everything. And I think that they didn't want any, they've pretty much cut out everyone, honestly. There are a few people around her that work for her, and that's the extent of it, other than her immediate family. And I think they were just trying to keep everyone out that, you know, possibly that she would reach out to maybe to help change the situation. So, but when that statement was made, I was like, this is way over my head, and I just couldn't deal with it. So I just took a step back.
Which is smart.
You know, I mean,
Right.
I'm not going to fight 9 lawyers and parents. She can call me in a little while and then we'll hang out again.
Do you think that Britney had any part in that statement, and any part in when you're talking about the family and everyone
No,
cutting her
I
off?
don't at all. I know she didn't, honestly, so.
And what do you think in her comeback now? What is her awareness, do you think, of the situation around her, that her dad is saying you can't come back in? And do you think she's aware of all this?
She knew that was going on at the time, absolutely, you know, and but I think she just realized that, okay, this is how it is right now. I need to focus on certain things, and that's what I'm going to do. And I think she's, you know, doing it for herself. You know, her career is back up at the top. You know, her relationship with her kids seems wonderful. And I think that, you know, it just comes to a point where you get tired of just fighting things all the time. And so maybe you just sit back and you just kind of deal with what has been really, you know, laid in front of you, and you just do it. Just do it and live life.
What do you think of her sort of reincarnation and how she's come back and trying to re-push
I think it's amazing. I mean, I think she'll be around as long as she ever wants to be around. She's an incredible dancer, an incredible performer. Her songs are amazing. I mean, and she's very, very talented, and she's worked for a very long time, since she was really little, you know, to get there. And
Okay, so what? You see how she talks about the conservatorship without talking about the conservatorship, right? And how she mentioned that it's a more permanent thing now. You know, I know a lot of people say, you know, things about her, and I don't know a lot too much, but from just watching this interview, like, I can see so much similarities between her and Britney. Britney back in the day, you know, very wholesome, very truth-telling. And you know what? It makes me feel even sadder because, you know, supposedly Britney was trying to reach Alli through other people's phones, but Alli was terrified of answering and trying to be there for Britney because she was terrified of being dragged into court or getting sued or something. And I think maybe that is one of the things that maybe you can look back at and you can be like, damn, bitch, you should have fought harder. You should have done interviews and stuff. But remember, she was in her 20s, and Britney Spears is a fucking millionaire with all these badass lawyers, you know, allegedly threatening her and stuff. So I would be fucking terrified too, right? I don't know much more about her or where she is now, but this is the little things I found. So back in 2021, Alli Sims did speak out after Britney Spears' documentary came out, okay? So so she didn't say too much, and it wasn't an on-camera interview, but this is what she said. He 100% was threatening me with my life, said Sims, who left her job working for Britney. I didn't put it past him, so I didn't answer her calls again. How the conservatorship that has confined Spears to the control of her father. This was after the Framing Britney Spears documentary. Alli says, how do you watch that documentary and be in it and live in that and not say anything when it has gone for so long? Sims told NBC in her first interview. She also said that when Britney Spears finally speaks out, she will shock the world. Okay, so, you know, I hope she's happy. I really do. And you know, I hope that Britney, out of the conservatorship, is reaching out to people. But I will say this, that sometimes we go through experiences with certain people, right? And if those things were traumatic or scary or sad, sometimes we don't want to go back to that, you know? Sometimes we see certain people and they remind us of a certain time of our lives where we were so fucking down and out that it just triggers the memories of that. So sometimes we just need to stay away from certain people. But my thing is, I hope Britney is reaching out to people from her past. I did read something the other day, and I forgot to post about it, but I did read that she was supposedly trying to reach out to some of her childhood friends. And if that's the case, you know, I really hope that she's reaching out to the right ones, you know, to the ones who were always there for her, always supporting her. All the Lyns, I mean, I think they're all named like Lynn, Heather Lynn, and Jamie Lynn, and or not Jamie Lynn, but Heather Lynn and Rachel Lynn, and all the Lyns in the world. I hope whichever Lynn she's reaching out to is a good Lynn. You know what I mean? But what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. I'm just like, there is so much about this that we don't know. This is why we need a part 2. And also we need like a book from somebody who was around that time as well. Not necessarily Britney, but someone who was around that time who can really just say all the details of everything that was going on. You know what I mean? Like, that would be so incredible. And you know, I think it's so needed too. Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I wanted to say again, you guys, yes, it's Valentine's Day. Yes, sometimes we feel like we're just scrolling on the internet and we're seeing all these people fall in love and this and that, but it's not all of it, okay? That's not all that matters. What matters is the relationship we have with ourselves. And remember, best friend, we got to learn to love ourselves. Even though I'm married, I've been with my husband 10 years, going on 13. If I'm not okay, we are not okay. You know what I mean? And so I need to better myself. I need to work on myself so others around me could be okay as well. So don't just think that your answer is your knight in shining armor. You know, no, that's not your answer. You are your answer. Okay, girl? I love you all. Thank you for watching. And let me know what you guys think about this tea. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.